1-800-823-6313. 1-800-823-6313.
You want to be prepared? You watch the Weather Channel. When it comes to something as important as this, knowing what we know can make all the difference. It's all we do. Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
And a good Saturday morning. Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Channel. I'm Will Annan. This is Rick Griffin. And this Weather Center this go-around is sponsored by GMC Truck. A real mess still developing in parts of the Northeast, and severe weather now beginning to break out right around New Orleans and much of the deep Mid-South.
Yeah, there's warm, moist air flowing off the Gulf, and we have a sharp wintertime cold front moving into that, so we have a clash of the air masses. So the east is unsettled, but the west is looking good. In fact, Los Angeles may be above 80 degrees and sunny as we go through this day. So we've got a lot to talk about. A lot of clouds in the east, a lot of fair weather in the west, although the northwest is kind of overcast, and do expect some periodic precipitation there. But the most widespread unsettled activities from the northern tip of Maine all the way down to just about the mouth of the Mississippi River along a series of fronts, and along the fronts a couple of weak low pressure centers, one coastal New England, the other one down in western sections of Pennsylvania. In any event, we've got a lot to talk about, including some rain in Boston, rain in Hartford, rain in New York City, rain in Newark, rain in Philadelphia, rain in times in Washington, D.C. Right along the coast, it's above freezing, but just a few miles inland, and in especially the protected valleys like the Connecticut Valley, parts of the Hudson Valley, and the valleys of eastern Pennsylvania, cold air is trapped in the very lowest layers, maybe down 500 feet thick, 1,000 feet thick. That would be the thickness of the below freezing layer of air. The bottom line is there's still some freezing rain and sleet in here with some very icy highway conditions. Where the air mass is cold enough for snowfall, we've got it, and it's pretty widespread from Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont through New York State's Adirondack region, north and west of Lake George especially, and down into western Pennsylvania. Ohio's got some snow, including Cleveland. We do have live reports from Cleveland coming up later this morning at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, so stay with us for that. Well, let's go to radar. Well, let's start in Portland, where it's raining. Portsmouth, it's raining. Boston. Worcester is 39 degrees. It's raining. Westward we go, and in eastern New York, Glens Falls at the Warren County Airport, it's 22 degrees right now, freezing rain, but the temperature with a southerly wind has reached above the freezing mark in Albany. So depending on your elevation here, if you're deep down in a valley, you're probably still well below the freezing mark. If you're up on a hilltop, you're probably flirting with the freezing mark or slightly above. Right down through here, there's some tricky traveling. Hartford is below freezing. Springfield, Massachusetts, still in the 20s. So the Connecticut Valley is seeing rain, which is freezing on contact with outdoor objects, especially trees, power lines, and car tops, and even some of the less treated secondary highways a bit icy. Steady precipitation down in eastern Pennsylvania. Some of it still freezing rain and sleet. Boston, though, you've got some rain. And back on the hilltop at Worcester, where the observation is, warmer air is streaming in, so it's already about 40 degrees. But at Bedford, Massachusetts, right there along 128, it's still 28 degrees. So there's a variety of temperature conditions. Connecticut Valley still got some cold air trapped. Bradley Field is in the 20s, freezing rain. New York City is above freezing, however, just plain rain for you. The rain has stopped, at least temporarily, in Atlantic City and Dover. Let's draw a line right through here. That's the rain-snow line. It's snowing in Watertown, snowing in Saranac Lake, Lake Placid, and Indian Lake in the Adirondacks, snow at Syracuse, snow Rochester, snow in Buffalo, snow down to Du Bois and Bradford, Pennsylvania, rain right here. And you can actually see the difference. It's kind of a fuzzy, lighter green. That depicts the snow. It reflects the radar beam a little less. Appears a fuzzy edges to the precipitation. Well, we have the rainfall down here, and that gives a better reflectivity for the radar beam, let's say, and it appears darker green with a more hatched edge to the precipitation. So you can actually see the difference in the rain and snow echoes here. Snowfall totals, pretty light northeast, although parts of the Northeast Kingdom through northern New Hampshire and western Maine, 3 to 6 inches of additional snowfall, perhaps even a little more than that. And back here where some lake effect snow bands have developed, western lower Michigan, snow accumulations of a half a foot are possible. 44 Boston, 36 New York City, 33 in Albany. Elmira is slightly below freezing. Pittsburgh, you've dipped back below the freezing mark. Mild southwest winds, Georgia and Florida, the Carolinas, Charlotte's in the 50s. You can see Panama City, New Orleans too. Behind the front though, it's 27 in Dallas, 26 in the cold air in Little Rock. Cold air is sweeping to the east. And along the front, some thunderstorm activity. Some of it has been rather heavy, if not severe. Behind the front, we've got the Arctic air mass. And thanks, Will, for this. We've got just into the Weather Channel a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Mobile County and southwest Alabama. It's in effect until 5:30 Central Standard Time. These storms are producing the potential, anyway, for wind gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour, large hail, and certainly damaging winds. And as we go through the radars here, we'll look at those storms. Look for some rain. Coastal Carolinas, raining in Knoxville, Atlanta, rain moving through, but it's not as heavy as it was when it was approaching the city. Here are those big storms. Southern Alabama, Mobile County is right in here. So heads up, and later on this morning, Pensacola, Enterprise, Dothan, Alabama, you could be under the gun. This is snow right up here, western lower Michigan, in the cold air coming across the lakes. 11 Chicago, 20 below in Fargo, 29 above in Salt Lake City, and it's in the 50s in Southern California. Let's go on to your forecast now and take a look at the rest of this Saturday. Here's Will.
Okay, Rick, it looks like for the upcoming day, we're going to be looking at that real messy weather for the eastern part of the country, but much more green than freezing rain or snow depicted here. That means a lot more rain, liquid precipitation, all the way from central and northwestern Florida, where there could be some big-time thunderstorms developing here. Watch out for yet another squall line developing over the deep south from later on today, affecting areas like Tampa, Orlando, Daytona Beach, and it points to the north and west by about midday or maybe just slightly beyond. Could be some rain as far northward now as eastern Maine, where you're looking at that freezing rain this morning. Behind the front, much chillier weather. The winds will begin to blow again from Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Nashville, Tupelo, Birmingham, Montgomery, and Atlanta. It will be turning substantially colder this afternoon and definitely by early morning tomorrow, with that high beginning to bridge over into the western Carolinas. And looks like another windy and chilly morning tomorrow morning for central and northwestern Florida. Good chance of more rainfall today. The better chance will be near the Gulf Coast in the northwestern Florida, and of course along the eastern seaboard this afternoon and right through early on this morning as well. But the big time snows will begin to pick up again, lake effect style, over southwestern lower Michigan, up towards Traverse City too, and again over much of the eastern lakes, and northwestern Maine could do pretty well as well. Take a look at this. Boston, 48 degrees. You'll be looking at the rain. We'll check out the Midwest, where it's going to be another chilly one, in Chicagoland at 12. There's your rain in the southeastern part of the country. And again, watch out for Florida today. Some of those rains could be locally heavy and maybe even severe.
Stay with us. Travel Wise is next, right after this.
This program was sponsored by GMC. See your local dealer today.
This is unfamiliar territory for most luxury SUVs, but this is
36 for a Bank One Platinum Visa card, 3.9